this outpouring of community support is absolutely wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I know I'm not supposed to acknowledge, but I would say, Dan and Sarah Jane O'Connell, you've got an awful lot of friends in this community, and thank you so much for hosting this today. The Fraser River has provided so many economic, spiritual, cultural, and recreational benefits to the people of our province, and it really goes back to the beginning of time. Some of the most ecologically valuable habitat in the Fraser watershed is found right here between Mission and Hope, and we know it now as the Gravel Reach. This area is renowned as the largest spawning area for salmon, home to the largest population of white sturgeon and hundreds of birds and wildlife species that thrive in the forests along the Fraser. I had an opportunity to go for a walk along the river there, and it's so peaceful and so beautiful, and it's just so wonderful that this initiative that is gaining support with the Heart of the Fraser program is developing the way it is, and the Nature Trust of BC is thrilled to be a leader in this initiative. As one of BC's leading nonprofit land conservation organizations, we're very pleased to be a partner with the Pacific Fisheries Resource Conservation Council, North Growth Foundation, BCIT Fish, Wildlife and Recreation Centre of Excellence to create a complex of properties in the Gravel Reach area. But today we celebrate the acquisition of the Tom Berry property. It is my pleasure to introduce a man who has made a career advocating for the conservation of rivers here in BC and right around the world. He's the head of the BCIT Fish, Wildlife and Recreation Program, a man of incredible passion. Mark, you can come forward. Please welcome Mark Angelo.
Thank you, Robin. I have to say I'm also very excited about the establishment of a research facility here that will be used as a base for BCIT Fish and Wildlife students and others who undertake research activities pertaining to the Fraser and its incredible natural values. And we're going to try and put that to very good use, because such a facility will make it much easier and much more viable for students and staff who undertake major research projects. Whether that be the identification of key riparian lands, or the monitoring of habitat conditions, or the study of specific fish and wildlife populations. So we're certainly enthusiastic about that. And I certainly want to take this moment to acknowledge and thank Sarah Jane Connell for her willingness to see this property protected and used for research-related purposes, and that's something we greatly appreciate. So thank you, Sarah Jane. I also want to thank the Nature Trust, who has so enthusiastically embraced the Heart of the Fraser. As an organization, they do exceptional work.
I'd like now to introduce the President and CEO of the Nature Trust of British Columbia, Mr. Doug Walker.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you to everyone for coming out and braving the weather that we thought we might have yesterday. It was quite an amazing change, and I think evident today that it's a spectacular day, spectacular habitat. Here today we have representatives from the Fraser Valley Regional District, Ministry of the Environment, Ministry of Transportation and Highways, Department of Fisheries and Oceans, local government, and people like yourselves who have come out to celebrate this wonderful event. The Heart of the Fraser project began with a donation by Canfor last fall. This picturesque property is noted for its mature Douglas fir, riparian habitat, and its importance as a heritage site for the Scowlith Band and its location of confluence of the Harrison and Fraser rivers. We're working with the Scowlith Band to continue that ongoing management of that property in perpetuity for their heritage. The Nature Trust has a long-standing commitment to the protection of the lower Fraser River. Since 1971, we've acquired 11 properties in the Fraser watershed area between Mission and Hope, totaling 382 hectares, or for those of us that are metrically challenged, 920 acres. And today we're celebrating the acquisition of the Tom Berry property, which is one more piece of the ongoing puzzle in our efforts to conserve the Gravel Reach area of the Fraser River. it is my honor to dedicate this research center in the memory of Wendy Thompson, a young woman who loved the natural splendor of British Columbia. Wendy was a paramedic with the British Columbia Ambulance Service. She was part of the infant transport team and was on a Mercy flight to the Queen Charlotte Islands January 11, 1995, when her aircraft was lost at sea. A trust fund was established by her parents, and they generously agreed to help acquire this Thornbury property. So we're very pleased today to dedicate this research center in her memory, and we thank her parents and all the people that helped in her memory to support this.
It's my pleasure now to call on a very close friend of the Berry family, Mr. Segahuth, to say a few words, please.
Buck, like his father before him, became one of the legendary characters of the hotel business in the province of BC. He was noted for his individual athletic accomplishments in golf, lacrosse, soccer, and basketball. His dedication to coaching and assisting young athletes, and in particular his basketball boys, his hunting exploits, and his trips to the prairies, his colorful opinions, his generosity to anyone in need of help, his devotion to his hotel, his staff and customers, and his special affection for the boys he served overseas with, the Seaforth Highlanders. All these facets of his life combined to make him a special, respected, and admired individual in the hearts of those who knew him. Coach Buck Berry was a man who was always able to handle tension and remain calm, not only as a coach, but as a player in golf, lacrosse, basketball, and soccer. He was a man who took order out of chaos. He was a man who dealt with many young lads of varying backgrounds, temperaments, and produced winners, not only on the basketball floor, but in real life. All of us, his Aggies, and are living proof. We have two Aggies here, Bill Davies, William Davies, and I are former Aggies. We played together for many years. He was a man who always worked hard, gave of himself, never gave up, and in the process managed to uplift and inspire any youngster fortunate enough to have had him as a coach. His motto was, "There's no such thing as regret. Just keep trying. You don't have to quit. Just keep trying." Buck passed away at the age of 85. He went out hard and kicking, which was the way he lived.